all in my third. About 10 year, the walk is county. That's one. You got a couple of years later. I was in Maine, California, and then I thought, because there is, I said, for years old, then. And all the things, which I thought about. Now, rather than keep my coach, there's city count down, like, I think, go, I just go, then I'm going to play.
Time being 6 o'clock, I call the budget workshop to order. Discussion of proposed budget for fiscal year 2026, 2027, and all things related thereto. Staff presenter.
Mayor and Town Council, in your packet, you have my memo. And before we get started, I just want to say, we really appreciate your support. This has been a really great council, Mayor, but I want y'all to hear that and know it, that it is very nice to work with y'all. And we have a very professional department here, and we're very excited about it. And also, this is just going to do a snapshot, sort of kicking us off on a workshop. We'll have one in August, the 18th workshop, and we'll have that itemized list for you guys to go over. But tonight, I just sort of want to get a feel. As you see, the last 6 years, you have our tax rates here, and they have remained the same for the last 5 years, 17,3646. And I know last year it had been mentioned that if we took on debt, there could change our no new revenue rate. I got with Stacy, the chief deputy with Denton County Appraisal District, and she said that does not necessarily mean it. So currently, until we get our numbers, this is the rate that we think we could sustain. Our budget right now, we're looking good. We all know that our budget's been looking good, but one of the things we're trying to accomplish, as we know, when we talked about priorities, is streets. We have our phase 3 currently we're working on, and what we want to do is start saving some money, put back in the street fund so we can continue to do more phases on East Jeter and other roads we need. We're doing a really good job on our reserves, but that's sort of what we're looking at. So just want to get y'all's feedback. What are y'all thinking, and just for discussion.
It's gonna take us, excuse me, probably 3 years to save up enough to do East Judah from Forward to McMakin to the beginning of phase 1 down there. So, because we roughly have 500 a year going into the road fund roughly.
Yes, Mayor, we currently we're doing really well on our taxes. We're gonna be a little over 500,000 this year, but that's what we budget for streets. It's about 500,000, as you know. Phase 2 is right at 800,000. This one was right at $1 million. So we're looking at, it's gonna be at least $1 million per. So we're looking at $2 million is what we're roughly thinking if we do from McMakin to Porter. And it's gonna take us, we have money in there currently, but it's gonna take us at least 3 years if we want to do it all. So we're just, if we can continue to have the surplus of the ad valorem tax being over, last year's 10% over what we budgeted. Year before was 12%, and currently we're looking at a 12% over ad valorem tax right now, and we still have a few months left.
And we usually put, excuse me, about 250 into the street maintenance fund to just do. Yeah, I think we talked about that this year. I think we're only gonna put 150 in there because we need to save more money.
Yeah,
Instead of spending half of what we take in for roads or maintenance, we need to save more to reconstruct, it's so expensive.
Cause
So we decided, I'm sorry,
that maintenance, that 250, that's an 1987.
it is separate, but it comes out of the street fund, it comes out of that 500K street fund, is that correct?
That actually comes for our general.
No.
That does not come from that fund. That fund is.
we fund it out of the general.
Yes,
Fund,
but
but
it's,
funded by general.
Okay.
Okay, so if we can save 100 off at least, because we were talking about maybe this year just doing crack sealing and, potholes, of course, but the officers can do potholes.
and we can, we've done, we loaded the asphalt, we go up here to Home Depot, we got a packer, we can fix potholes. But one of the things, and they did quite a few over at Green Oaks, is once we start getting those, they call them the crocodile or whatever.
Alligator.
Alligator. And once it starts going, everything's here.
No, sorry, I wanted to make sure that that was.
So we crack seal it, obviously gives us more life expectancy. We can go in there and do some other road repair, but like the mayor said, I think reducing it to 150, we should be able to continue to meet the obligations, whether a culvert has to be redone or something like that. It'll give us money in that fund to be able to make those repairs.
I was surprised we had as many metal culverts in town as we did. I think I'm building.
There's a whole bunch of them up there.
Yeah.
Culvert graveyard over there around the corner on Gibbons,
Yeah.
where they pulled all those corrugated. Yeah.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I'm okay with reducing the.
Yeah.
Auto repair to 150 and add more funds for the street funds. We got this stretch and then this stretch and the far side of West Jeter to like Glenview, that's a.
Well, that's a pretty low traffic area,
Yeah.
compared to this area here.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll do this area first. I think this is about 3,500 cars a day, based on the last. Street. County, hey, something like that. The Porter had, well, they come down London and Porter, but I think Porter had a lot too. So,
I'll tell you, the street that's got a lot of traffic in last year and the other half, and that's one road, people cutting across and making that go to Florida. Have you noticed that?
yeah, the last, I don't remember what the last time was, yeah.
But that's holding up, it wasn't the last time. we did that road.
Yeah.
We have another traffic study coming up.
They usually do that in October.
October, November.
Yes, sir. We did budget $10,000 for BCDC and we will be doing that this year, because I think we haven't done it the last couple of years. So we have that in the budget that you'll all be seeing that we just went.
Be interesting
we
to
just
see.
went through.
What it is.
Mhm.
Last one was stop sign. Last time we got the study was right after the signs went in.
Yeah, sometime around there, we started putting in stop signs, additional stop signs.
The last,
2024.
November 15th, 2023. I started in June and that's right after you guys did the stop signs.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
What are the numbers? To study the last numbers on scan. Broome had 729 back in 23. Let's see, Jeter, Maria, it's hard to read that thing, but anyway, we'll get another study. Obviously, we know that East Jeter, McMagan, those are, Jeter, West Jeter, I mean, they're all of those borders, but those are our well-traveled areas, but we'll get a new study, but. The main thing is just to have some money set aside, and that's why I think keeping the current rate at what we have, we're gonna be able to put money in those funds, and then if anything else comes up, because we don't want to take on debt. I don't think anybody really thinks that's a good idea. I think we're doing, we can work within our budget, we don't go overextend, so. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go into number two, as you all know, this is sort of a topic, from city managers to chiefs, everybody go, hey, what are you looking at for a goal of this year? And the mayor and I talked about this, and, obviously this is something that's totally up to the council. We were looking at if we did do anything, it would maybe be like, maybe propose a 2%. But I also want to share some things with you, because I think one of my emails or my last when we spoke, last, or I can't remember his email or what it was, but we had talked about when we met with our insurance company, it was about a 30% increase. Well, today we got an email, it's 23.8%. However, Shannon and I have already set up a meeting. We're gonna try and see if we can get some other lower rates. And if that is the case, that could be an increase that we do want to keep in mind when we start looking at raises and things of that nature. Because it's not just the salary. We got your insurance, you got TMRS, overtime, it comes in a bubble there. That's something I do think we could do this year, but then again, this is something that I just wanted to propose to council for your consideration.
Well, remind me too, all the Homeland Security funds, doesn't a portion of that go to the officers?
Are you talking about the 287?
Salary?
Yes, well,
I thought there was a stipend or something that went to the officer. I may be misremembering this, that's why I'm asking.
yeah, no, and that's on my next
Yeah, we're talking.
step, I can get to that.
Okay.
You can't use salaries, it's all equipment.
Okay,
So it's vehicle, you get 100,000, then you got equipment, each officer gets 60,000 a year. You get 15,000 a quarter. And we're already in the process of doing that, I've already registered, we've already had every couple already complete their training. Chief, how many? Four already? Four of them have already completed their training. Once you get the training fit, you get $100,000 for the car, and then you get $7,500 per officer, which will be 60. So, and then each quarter you'll get 15,000 per officer, which is 120. But that can only be used for vehicles, equipment, training,
Okay.
uniforms, technology, that blue, which Chief's gonna be talking about, this Blue Voice, which is a software he's bringing in.
Right.
He's adding an upgrade to the flock. Those things can be used. And it will get to, and that's what I'll be getting to, I think in my email to you, or my memo is we're gonna have some money moving from the general fund and police, 115,000 be moved, and from CCP, so that will be shifted out of our general fund and then out of CCP.
okay. Sorry to jump ahead.
That's okay.
I had that 7,500 stuck in my head for some reason. I get what it's for, so.
Once we make that first apprehension, we'll see that vehicle money and the 7,500 per officer that Kirk just talked about within 3 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
We'll receive that.
Okay. That may allow us to save a little more money.
Yeah, and that is, and obviously that is a great opportunity for our agency to be a part of that. But that's just what I want to propose. We'll come back with some other numbers in our workshop and maybe get a decision on what we're looking at. I can give you I have some preliminary numbers, but I can give you numbers for what it will cost if we decide to do a percent. And then also working on, currently the number is. Currently, if we had to increase our insurance right now at 23.8%, it's right at $60,000. So if we can get that reduced, obviously we want to, but just as Councilman Crandall was talking about, we are gonna have some money being shifted for the 287 out of the general fund that could make up for that opportunity to do those things.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate to run the 2% call on the ground and just figure out what that punches out to be. Yeah, see if that, aligns against our targets. So I think it's makes sense.
Yes, we'll do that.
Just say that again, to do what?
It makes sense to run the 2% call on the ground as we're working through the budget workshop
Yeah.
to see what that does and where that ranks in the budget.
Mhm.
It seems reasonable. I mean,
We looked at some of those numbers too.
Yeah, we looked at 3 to 2 and the numbers will be, but I will run those and make sure I'll have all those
Yeah.
for you at our August meeting. That way, so here's the total cost from,
Affects the budget,
yeah, how it will affect, and then also, we'll be able to offset that reallocating funds from the general police fund, to the federal fund. And that takes us to my number 3, and as I was talking about, those numbers will be able to move $115,000 out of the police general fund, and then from CCPD, they'll be moving $154,500. And for a total of $695,500 that will be reallocated to a new account. And once we do this, we're actually gonna have to set up a whole new account where that fund will be deposited. And then that's where Chief Ashburn will be able to pull those funds, and whether it's for technology or the equipment, the camp, all these different things that we budgeted or he's budgeted, CCP will be taken out of that account. And the nice thing about that is last year, I think we brought about 130,000 for CCP. Well, now that money will just be compounding, because you're not gonna have to touch that CCPD money. It'll just sit there, because all of those expenses and all the equipment will be taken out of the federal fund.
With federal fund restricted,
They're strictly for,
I know we have a couple of our funds that said you can only use them for the allocated expenditures.
yes, sir, that's like C's funds, yes, sir, it's just like C's funds. You have to use them for specific things, and that's sort of, you have these guidelines, you can't use it for salaries or overtime. You can use it for overtime if they're on a case.
Now
We could get reimbursed for that.
we can get reimbursed if an officer is tied up to jail or something with a federal apprehension. And we can send them, they'll have a timesheet for us to fill out. We can ship it in and they'll reimburse us for whatever time for us at overtime rate.
Well, if that can't be utilized for many wages of, what's not raised, can any of that be utilized for an increase in insurance and coverage for the benefits?
The way that we read it in the MOU is mainly for all technology, it's for equipment. The only time you can use it in any way, shape, or form for salaries would be overtime, like the chief stated, but no, sir, that is a separate piece. You cannot use that. That's like Councilman Chapman was talking about it. There's certain criteria that you have to stay in those guidelines. And obviously we'll keep it audit, keep a list of what we use the money for in case they do audit us. That's all they ask. We got to keep receipts and all of that, just like any other account. But it won't be able to use for those kinds of things. No, sir.
So it will free up funds that are gonna get shifted to the general fund, so in a way,
Thank you. Yes, we're moving some funds that it's offsetting, and that's why we're looking at $115,000 that's being shifted from the police side that will help us with if we do the 2% goal, if the insurance does come up, so it offsets that. So it's helping us out.
so for the 287 funds, we're setting up a new GL. So is that gonna be a brand new GL, or is it gonna be a sub?
It'll be a new fund number like we got 170 for the streets, 100 for administration. But we were waiting till we get all the paperwork and then to make sure that we set it exactly the way it needs to be.
Yes.
And it will be a checking account, that way we're not transferring back and forth, that way it's easier to watch and make sure everything's audited.
Okay, so keep track. So, yes, all right, good, that's.
Yeah, we don't want to get out of the federal government.
Yeah.
I would prefer not to, I'm sure. And number 4 is sort of what we've been talking about, just with the whole umbrella of our accounts and how we're trying to see our revenues, where we're gonna save, increase is all to try and get future funding for streets. Because that's something I think we're gonna definitely have to continue to look at. We all know that. I know it's inconvenient some people at times, but we have to do our due diligence to make sure we keep these roads, maintained the best that we can. I am happy to say we did not get any complaints over Saturday. But anyway, these are some of the, like I said, East Jeter, West Jeter, McMakin, we've done some repairs. I know the mayor and I have talked about getting with the county to try and get them to come back and do that for us. That would be a really nice expense. As I sent you, I think last week, I did get information about the grant that we put in for. We did not get awarded that grant. It would have been nice to get that 5 million, but we did not meet the criteria for whatever reason. So,
You try.
we'll keep
Try.
trying. We'll
Yeah.
keep trying, we'll try to find to where, just like this 287, it helps this, the grants that are out there, and this was one when I saw like, man, this is awesome. So the mayor, we got together, put it out there, and we were hoping to get it, but we did not.
were they specific on the criteria that eliminate us from qualifying for that?
They were sort of vague, they really didn't.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you just didn't make the party, I'm like, well, thanks for the invitation, but you got cut.
Is that something they do every year, or is it just a periodic thing, or?
I'll have to get with our contact there at Westwood, because Westwood was the one that brought it to us, our engineering company. I can get with, because he was the city manager.
This is the first time I've heard this.
Yeah, me too, that's why
Well,
it's.
we'll keep eyes out, because before I heard of this one, I actually reached out to my old boss and JD say, so he did a lot of grants. He goes, man, there's not that many out there for streets, but this one came up. We put it out there, but if we do have anything else come up, we'll definitely take a look at that.
I think you tried, nothing ventured, nothing gained, so it's all right.
Any other questions, comments, anything else you need me to have for us for August, other than the itemized list, the to 2%? We'll have our insurance. There's anything else you can think of from now to then, please just shoot me an email and we'll have that. I'll get with Shannon and we'll make sure that we get that data for you to evaluate.
The finance or asking do.
Any other concerns or questions regarding anything regarding that?
Start getting line item detail, start to.
Yeah.
We're setting pretty good, we got a fairly new fleet. And I mean, we're really setting pretty good in a lot of ways, so.
One question I have, and I think that in the last 3 or 4 years, that we would almost reference that we had stored up in storage boxes into the digital.
Like your picture.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I know you mentioned this, and this was at the time when we first started, when this parking lot back here, about the portable storage. And I've looked out there, there's room that we could put something, I don't know if we have a need. Versus the expense what it would cost, but there's an ideal place out there where we could expand this exterior storage if we got to that point where we need it.
We could, well, so the storage right now, for special events, that's running about $140 a month. Is that right? So, I mean, it's 1,500 plus a year, so that's.
Are y'all able to get everything in the, for Josh to do?
It's full.
It's full.
We can definitely,
If we had another one, then we could store the tree and other stuff like that, and then obviously the police department could use it as well,
Well, I just think we're looking at the funds now the time to think about that, because I know it was a need at one time. That I wasn't sure as to where we stand with the staff in here as to what they have now that goes in the store.
so
Takes up room within our own building, confines.
Is that not?
it's climate control, but we have storage now. So when I don't know that it needs to be climate controlled, we obviously need to put bait boxes and stuff in there to keep rodents and stuff like that down, but. When we were actually talking about doing that shed, I went to 3 different places and then I priced them out. They were anywhere from $6,500 to $8,500 delivered. So that's kind of the price we're looking at, so if you assume $1,500 a year. You're looking at about a 5-year payback. If we wanted to do something like that.
Actually,
So that's something to think about.
we're gonna grow in the police department, probably gonna grow and there'll be signage and stuff like this that, if you're looking at a 10-foot building, you might as well expand that and go to a 15 because it costs less to go out. They're more to work than to out, so that, the time to do that would be to do it. No matter what size we get, you're gonna run out of space, it always works, it always, I don't care, I wish I had something bigger. Every time we just live within the budget, but I didn't need to be there, to do this.
All goldfish, man, throw into our bowl. Yes.
Well, if we had it, then yes, we could get rid of the 1,500 a year. Lease payment, but
There's a lot of linen and cloth fabric type stuff. And then I know that they did want to really try to keep the climate control because they didn't want the rats
Mhm.
eating the tree lights and the
Wire
wires.
wiring.
and I think we looked at some other options besides public storage over there recently, and the other options that we're looking at closer to us were in the 200 plus range, as I recall. Just off the top of my head. So.
Just something to consider.
Mhm.
Well, thank y'all again.
Thank you for putting this, I know it's not an easy undertaking, if you will, so.
Y'all make it easy, I will tell you that. Our budgeting process is nice. And good, Shannon does a great job. We get together, put together some, I don't do some numbers, but it is a little tedious, but you know, it's, we enjoy the numbers. But we are looking good on revenues as when Shannon does the financials, we're still looking really good. There's some places where we, like the mayor mentioned, we're able to decrease a few different line items. And then we also have the reallocating funds for this year, then we'll have it again, because that 287 agreement is good for 2 years.
Yeah.
So like this year, next year, so that's gonna give us some really nice offset in money where we can focus on streets, which is really a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take advantage of what's happening.
Yeah, who knows, maybe another grant will come up and get lucky.
I know you make this statement from time to time, about how easy it is to just work with the council, but, you know, shoes on the foot, you know, we need to let you know, I think I told you, maybe, we don't say often enough, thank you, but for where we came 4 or 5 years ago, with what we got, where we are now, with the staff that we have, and personnel that we have, we're blessed, we're one of the most. The smaller, Mayberry town.
I concur, and actually the new officer started tonight, who's gonna get sworn in, and we got a really great police department staff. But y'all do make it easy. I mean, Shannon and I and the chief, we've been doing this for quite a while, and we just appreciate your support. Well,
But thanks for all that you do.
Yeah, thank
you a lot.
thanks.
Appreciate it. Time being 6:26, we'll adjourn the budget workshop and we'll start the meeting at 6:30. Council meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Presentations. Introduction of and administer oath of office to new police officer Timothy Sawicki.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, council members and residents. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce the newest member of our law enforcement family, Officer Timothy Sawicki. Officer Sawicki joins us with 14 years of dedicated public safety experience, serving most recently as a detective with Rockport Police Department. He, along with his wife and 4 children, are relocating to our area to be closer to family. Officer Sawicki brings an immense wealth of knowledge to our department. He spent half of his distinguished career working as a K-9 officer and a criminal investigative detective, proving his commitment to protecting and serving the highest level. In addition to his field experience, Officer Sawicki is a passionate educator. He holds professional instructor certifications in standardized field sobriety testing, radar and LiDAR speed enforcement, and 4 distinct alert active shooter response disciplines. Rounding out his impressive credentials, he is also an IMPVA certified police bike officer and a trained hostage negotiator. We are excited to have Tim join our law enforcement family. Thank you, Tim.
Congratulations. Thanks for joining us. I'm Timothy Sawicki.
I, Timothy,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the officer
the duties of the office
of police officer
of police officer
for the town of Bartonville,
for
Texas,
the town of Bartonville, Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution
and defend the Constitution
and the laws
and the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state
and of the state,
and of the ordinance of the town of Bartonville, Texas, so help me God.
and of the orders of the town of Bartonville, so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to take some pictures with your family?
Sure.
Now come up, I think that they just walked in. Maybe with the chief, I'll sit down. No, maybe I.
Option.
This is the story. I'm old, I'm gonna get all these good pictures. If you look back and. There you go. Chief, you wanna get in there? Sure. Lieutenant, guys. Come on. So you gotta say.
This is not my wife and kids that you're talking about. This is my sister and nieces, so.
That's all. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Thank you so much.
Number 2, Medal of Merit Awards. Awards.
Mayor, Town Council, distinguished guests. It's my distinct honor and privilege to present the Bartonville Departmental Medal of Merit to Lieutenant Colby Scudder in recognition for his exceptional investigative work during an aggravated assault call on Friday, November 25th at approximately 2 a.m. Lieutenant Scudder demonstrated exceptional investigative skills, professionalism, and determination throughout this complex investigation. Through his skilled use of flock safety camera system, strong analytic skills, and methodical investigative approach, he identified the suspect in less than 8 hours. Lieutenant Scudder's investigative work extended beyond the boundaries of our community. His identification of the suspect enabled him to contact the Corinth Police Department and identify the same individual as a suspect in one of their armed robberies, allowing them to successfully clear their case. This outstanding investigative accomplishment not only brought justice to the victims of Bartonville, but also directly assisted a neighboring law enforcement agency to solve a violent felon, demonstrating far-reaching impact of his work. Understanding that every detail matters, Lieutenant Scudder returned to the crime scene and located a glove in the medium of 407 that was used during the commission of the crime. His actions demonstrated outstanding attention to detail and a thorough understanding of the critical importance of timely evidence collection. His commitment to justice extended further when he voluntarily responded while off duty, recognizing that the first 48 hours of any major crime is critical in solving it. His willingness to place his needs of the investigation of others' personal time represent the highest principles of law enforcement. Lieutenant Scudder also coordinated seamlessly with multiple law enforcement agencies, resulting in a warrant arrest within less than 13 hours of the commission of the offense. His leadership, initiative, unwavering dedication were instrumental in the quick resolution of this crime and arrest. His dedication to protecting the community and his restless pursuit of justice reflects great credit upon himself, the Bartonville Police Department, and the town of Bartonville. Please join me in congratulating Lieutenant Scudder on this well-deserved and distinguished recognition as a recipient of the Departmental Medal of Merit. Hold there. How's that? We'll do it this way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Mayor. Be nice, huh? That's awesome. Thank you. Hold it from there. Let's get the mayor on the other side. Hold it. I think I'll get on that side. Yeah. Get on the other side. Yeah. There you go. You got it.
You gotta get it.
There you go. Get a minute.
I'll hold it a little smooth, yeah.
Thanks.
Chief.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor. This is a couple of you guys. Yeah. All right. This may be my last one.
You'll never retire.
You're right.
Thank you.
Too much fun. That's gonna go cheap. You should have waited. I will say this, and I'm not gonna embarrass the lieutenant, but I probably would, but also. This happened back in November. He did not want me to do this in front of council. But I forced him into it. It only took 9 months. Sorry, Lou. Mayor and council, I have a privilege of a second award tonight. And in recognition of outstanding police services, it reflects great credit upon the town of Bartonville, the Bartonville Police Department. I'm honored to present the Medal of Merit to Officer Andrew Ritchie. At approximately 8:29 p.m. on Friday, February 20th, 2026, the Bartonville Police Department received notification from the VA crisis line regarding a Bartonville resident who had reportedly cut himself as was threatening to stab himself in the neck. The information initially indicated that the individual was located on Stonewood Boulevard in Bartonville. This incident presented a highly volatile and life-threatening situation that required a calm judgment, tactical discipline, and exceptional communication skills. Officer Ritchie responded with professionalism and coordinated seamlessly with officers with the Argyle Police Department, Devil Oak Police Department, and Denton County EMS #1, who staged nearby while officers attempted to safely locate the individual. Faced with limited information and a darkened residence, Officer Ritchie approached the situation methodically by establishing an appropriate perimeter and initiated contact in a safe and tactical sound manner. Demonstrating remarkable persistence and skill, Officer Ritchie successfully established communication with the individual after multiple unsuccessful attempts. He immediately identified himself, reassured the suspect that he was here to help him, and exhibited patience, empathy, and compassion while working to de-escalate the crisis. When the subject revealed that he was not in Bartonville, but at a hotel in Springdale, Ohio, Officer Ritchie remained composed despite the conflicting information and quickly transferred into an investigative approach. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Officer Ritchie made the decision to request an emergency cell phone ping, which confirmed that the individual was in Springdale. His prompt actions enabled appropriate jurisdiction to be notified immediately. As a direct result of this initiative and sound judgment, the Springdale Police Department located the individual and emergency medical personnel were dispatched along with mental health assistance. Officer Ritchie's professionalism, composure under pressure, compassion for an individual experiencing a mental health crisis, and unwavering commitment to preserving human life reflects the highest traditions of law enforcement service. His action brought great credit to himself, the Bartonville Police Department, and the town of Bartonville, and exemplify the qualities which the Medal of Merit is awarded. Please join me in congratulating Officer Ritchie on receiving this prestigious departmental award.
Oh,
Mayor.
Hey.
Hey, Chief. Come on, this is the second go around.
Sorry.
and now family.
Great job.
Good job.
Absolutely. Yes. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And just so y'all know, the bars are coming. The chief's gonna pick them up.
Public participation. If you'd like to speak to the council, please fill out a form and hand it to Shannon. Please indicate on the form if you wish to speak during a specific discussion on an agenda item. Remember, council members are not allowed to answer questions during public participation. Please state your name and address for the record. Shannon,
I have not received any.
thank you. Closed session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, the town council will recess and close executive session in accordance with the Texas Government Code pursuant to the following. Number one, section 551.074, personal matters to deliberate and consider the appointment, employment of a public officer or employee to which town council place one. Time being 6:45, we're now convened in the closed session. Time being 7:32, we reconvene into open session. Number one, discuss and consider accepting resignation of Jim Roberts and declaring a vacancy for place one on town council. Do I have a motion?
I'm going to accept the resignation of Jim Roberts and declare that a vacancy exists to place one on town council.
All those in favor? Motion carries.
I'm sorry, can we have a second?
Also,
Second, sorry. Motion carries. Number two, discuss and consider an appointment to fill the existing vacancy, place one on town council. Motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, but I'd like to say thank you guys, both of you very much for applying and for taking the time to come down here and talk with us tonight. I know that this is a interesting way to go about this, but we appreciate you guys both volunteering. And whichever way this goes tonight, which we'll get to here in a second, I hope that you guys will continue to volunteer your time and be a part of that. It's very important to us, so thank you. But I will move to appoint Richard Lawrence to fill the existing vacancy in place one for town council.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, council. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Number three, issue statement of appointment official to provide oath of office to newly elected appointed council member. Rick, we need. We're going to only go this theater room because it's a lot. Mhm. Yeah.
Sorry,
Mhm.
I, Rick Lawrence, do solemnly swear that I have. I, Rick Lawrence, do solemnly swear that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment for the giving or withholding of a vote at the election in which I was elected, or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation, whichever the case may be, so help me God.
Thank you. Ready, Ronnie? I repeat your name.
I, Rick Lawrence,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of council member place one,
of the office of council member place one,
the town of Bartonville, Texas,
the town of Bartonville, Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
and of the ordinances of the town of Bartonville,
and of the ordinances of the town of Bartonville,
Texas, so help me God.
Texas, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I would like to thank both of you again very much. Appreciate it. And then. Thank you.
Is it? That's good. But you work.
Appointed representative liaison report, number one, Denton County Emergency Service, Chief Vaughn.
Evening, Mayor, Council, Rick Vaughn, Fire Chief, happy to be here. For the month of June, we've been busy. It's obviously been hot and dry that time of year, except for a little brief rain we had this past weekend. It's been really hot. Picked up a lot of grass fires here lately. The job force in particular, we had like 9, maybe about 32 calls. Busy day for us. On top of all the parades and activities we have. But a couple notes in the report, just want to kind of point out, we did hire a new employee. We hired a new IT specialist. As you know, as you can imagine, all the IT stuff that we're all mandated we have to do and just all the cybersecurity and AI issues that we're seeing, and we'll definitely have to address that. So we hired, the board did approve a mid-year adjustment to hire not only an IT specialist, we're also hiring an accountant specialist to work for our support services chief. That position won't start till August. We're going to space out the interview process, but so you do see a number. There wasn't an added position, and in August will be another added position. So you'll see that. Overall, busy as ever. Our month, I hate to say that every time, but we're obviously the busiest June we ever had. You will notice a big change starting next month because we'll start seeing more calls because we did open up a new station. For the year, we're already 9% increase year to date compared to where we were last year, so just, starting to really pick up, and I think we're gonna see even more of that as the rest of the year goes. For the big news, July 1st, we did open our 4th fire station, there at Dale Earnhardt in I-35 in North Lake. We hit the ground running, we're making a bunch of calls ever since. Transition went really well, because we've been paying Roanoke to cover that area. So we stood up a 30-hour watch to kind of monitor the calls. We monitored our calls and Roanoke's calls, making sure no calls were missed. Had reports that there was no issue, no missed calls, and it worked out really well. And so the station's working, we've got landscaping to do, we've got punch lists, and so we had a final inspection Thursday. I think it'll be our first, but probably a second one after that. We're getting really close. Kudos to Mon here, he's really been making it happen, so he does our fire marshal, but if you didn't know, he's also wears another hat as oversees our facility, so when, you know, the ice machine breaks or air conditioning not working, he kind of works with contractors, so he really has stepped in and really it wouldn't be possible to be open July 1st, so kudos to him. Other news, yes, like I said earlier, July 4th, we had a good, busy day, a lot of good activities around town. And then on July 11th, we did do our snakes. I wasn't there. Two snakes. So we did.
I thought you were gonna.
I know, no, there's plenty of photos of somebody. Other things we have going on at the end of the month, we do have an active, threat training. I think, Bartonville PD probably participating as well. It will be at the Wells Church on 407. You know, it's one of those trainings that we do have to train for and plan for and have the gear for. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we had as firefighters, we have to, you know, train for that, but it's something to do with it. But we do got that coming up, and we are scheduling, a couple times a year, we do one of our larger, CPR, stop the bleed, AED classes, and so we got that scheduled. I think Megan's gonna be sending that out pretty quickly, and so I'll make sure that each of our stakeholders get that. And for, you follow us on social media, you'll see it there as well, so. Other than that, I'll keep it brief, but I'll take any questions you have.
Yeah, it's gonna just around, so.
We did, we got a bunch of rain, and we found a few leaks in the next day, so we had a good time. So, you know, just some of the cows, so, we're excited, so.
Thank you,
Thank
Jim.
you, Roy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mom.
Police Department, Chief Ashburn.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. We'll go to total cost of service for the month of June was 138. A little bit more than May, not by much. We had 15 crashes. Now, the majority of those were on 407, and a great deal of them was in the Kroger area and even in the Kroger parking lot. We had some at Branch Crossing in 407 and a couple at Razor in 407. None at Hilltop. None at Hilltop. Yeah. On the stats, I won't bore you with a lot of frivolous stuff here, but I'll hit some highlights on them. We had 5 agency assists. We had 17 commercial alarms and 11 residential alarms. We had 1 assault, 3 criminal mischief, 2 criminal trespass, 4 domestic disturbances, 3 forgery and fraud, and an ordinance violation. And that was 5 ordinance violations and 1 open door. On UCR crime reporting, we had 1 report for larceny. That's only 1. As far as officer initiated activity, we had building checks and post patrols at 183. We had 16 traffic complaints, radar enforcement. Traffic stops was 159, and walk-through business contacts was 24. And that's for a total of 382. And that's all I have. Anybody have any questions?
Somebody update on Telestar putting a light there for us. I know that was discussed a while.
Councilman Crandall, I did submit that email, and we're still waiting to hear back from them, but right after we did do that, we did see them out there doing like a traffic count.
Okay.
So I believe the first email got there, but the text dot sometimes drags their feet. I will make sure to look at it. I'll get with me and the chief and we'll stay on top of that because it would be something definitely that we agree on. That's the place to, we need a light. And you know, how long it took to get IT Neely, just a U-turn sign before we got the signal light, but that is something I'm continuing to focus on. We'll make sure that I'll put in some calls or try and make some more emails so we can try and get this, stay on top of it the best I can.
Yeah, I just wondered, anything about, I know you're working on that.
So, not at this time.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
Sure,
true.
there wasn't any report for a while.
One question around traffic stops. If we look at last month was 228, last year this time was 258. Then 159 this month. Is there anything we should attribute to reduced traffic
So
stops?
we was down, officer, as well for the last 6 weeks. That's gonna account for quite a bit of that.
Any other questions?
It would you have any knowledge as to for TechStop, when they do a traffic study for that? Is there an opportunity there at some point that maybe Tractor Supply could have a ride in, ride out on their property without, that would eliminate, the last couple of weeks, been watching that. You know, if you could eliminate 35 to 40% of that traffic that comes off of 407 and off of that parking lot, that'd be big for that comment. I'm just
I
saying.
know, I don't know if Tractor Supply is gonna be one and willing to spend that money to do that. I mean,
I think that'd be tech, when they have to get permission.
well, you have to get permission from TechStop. I think, I don't know, then you're gonna have to have the. I mean, what we will continue to do, I think it's best that the main thing we need to do, and I think it's just time. Is just to continue to just all focus on trying to get them to do, a light's gonna be probably the best thing there. I can try and look into that as well. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, I think, because we have the data showing that that's our number one place that we've had the major accidents. We didn't have them this past month, it was shocking, but you know, that's something I don't know. I've never really worked on that and on having new entrances, so like the one I never planned on doing at Chipotle, but we can. You know, I'm not opposed to.
Well, I don't notice it because I go down there so often with, the hospital and doctor appointment, but Tractor Supply, that traffic that comes out, especially 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and then 4 or 5 in the evening, that comes off the hilltop. Sometimes there's 9, 10, 11 cars that's backed up there. And I clench my teeth. I got to go now, I take Hilltop and I go back to the red light up there and come back out on 1830 without having to sit there because I get frustrated. Because by the time one traffic will clear for him to get out, that other guy, he wants to wait left so he can't take it. It just keeps backing the traffic up. Well, red light would probably solve that, yeah, no doubt about it. That
You just have to stay on text.
Yeah, I'll get back in there and make sure we stay on top of it, and we'll just have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Only thing that worries me about a ride in and ride out is that's on a curve. So you're gonna have some blinds and people going to that curve speed.
if you go back behind the stop sign, we might go there. That's
The other thing is Shannon mentioned, remember we have that 300 feet from an intersection.
That's true.
So that would be not only that, I think it's sort of I think the traffic light will focus on that. I think that's where to go. It's just. And then even at that, the way that curve is, it's gonna be tricky, but they know it. You've seen those around where they have you see it prior to you coming to that intersection, but we'll continue to work on that.
You get a light there, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just take time.
Number 3, administration, Shannon.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I start showing you the June financial, we must discuss those. I wanted to show you today's bank balances. For the general fund, our bank balance as of today is $5,132,972. The reserve bank balance is $860,062. So every month we get a little closer to our goal of $1 million. And the reserve revenue for the month of June, we brought in $2,720 in interest earnings, bringing the year-to-date revenue to $22,864, bringing us over budget by $3,864 for this time. for this year in reserves. Does anybody have any questions before we move forward on reserves? Anybody? All general fund reserves, I want to point out a couple in particular. Property tax, we earned $11,176, bringing our revenue to $1,345,589. Bringing us to over budget by $145,589. Sales tax for June collected was $73,122, bringing our year to revenue $788,486, bringing us closer. We're just off by $101,514. So we think we're gonna make that.
Yeah.
So the total revenue collected for June was $136,286, bringing our year-to-date revenue to $2,730,227. Any questions on revenues? As I mentioned on the previous slide, we brought in $73,122 in June, which represents April sales tax, since we're 2 months in arrears. And that brought our 12-month average collected to $87,037, which is an increase of $530 over last month's average collections. So therefore, it's allowing for our little upward tick. Keep going while we run. Okay. Next slide is general fund expenditures. Over the 3 different departments and then transfers, we expended $162,350, bringing our year-to-date expenditures to $1,771,306. At the end of month 9, which is our 3rd quarter end, we would like to make sure that we have a benchmark of 25% of the budget remaining, and we're well over that at 31.12%.
That's good.
Any questions on this slide? Okay.
Good.
And then expenditures by the administration department, total expenditures for June was $72,132, bringing our year to date to $887,626. And here again, we want to be over the 25% benchmark, and we are. Doing pretty good. Any questions on this slide? Okay. Last slide is expenditures by the police department. Total police department expenditures for the month of June was $85,210. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do that now, so it's not working out. And we bring in the year-to-date expenditures to $735,000. As you can tell, we are a little under the benchmark, and we're at 20.36%. But again, as previously discussed, it includes 3 annual contract payments that were paid earlier this year than they were last. And then also in June, we did have an employee payout that contributed to some of that increase as well. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank God.
Thanks, Shannon, and thanks for highlighting that. It's a lot easier. I appreciate that.
Well, you made that easy thought.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Consent agenda. This agenda consists of non-controversial housekeeping items required by law. Items may be approved with a single motion. Items may be removed from the consent agenda by any council member by making such a request prior to the motion and vote on the consent agenda. Number 1, consider approval of the June 16th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Number 2, consider an ordinance of the town council of the town of Bartonville ordering a special election to be held November the 3rd, 2026 to submit a proposition on the question of reauthorizing the sales and use authorizing the sales and use tax to provide revenue for maintenance and repair of municipal streets, and approving a joint election contract with Denton County and authorizing the mayor to execute said contract. Number 3, consider fiscal year 2026-2027 interlocal cooperation agreement between Denton County and the town of Bartonville Police Department for shared governance communication dispatch service system, and authorize the mayor to execute the same on behalf of the town. Number 4, consider fiscal year 2026-2027 interlocal cooperation agreement between Denton County and the town of Bartonville Police Department for the use of Denton County radio communication systems, and authorize the mayor to execute the same on behalf of the town. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Make a motion for the consent agenda and 1 to approve the animal.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, council. Public hearings and regular items. Number one, conduct a public hearing in the Bartonville Crime Control and Prevention District fiscal year 2026-2027 proposed budget. Staff presentation, Chief Ashburn.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. We had our budget meeting on June 17th, 2026, the BCC PD budget meeting. And I presented them with some equipment and some technology that we're in need of. They approved what I presented to them. And I'll give you a short synopsis of what I put in for and why I did. Put in for, it's called Blue Voice Platform, and it's at a cost of $69.70 per year. It's an AI-powered, hands-free tool giving officers instant, secure access to department policies, legal guidance, state laws, you name it, PM code, CCP, everything. You can be in a field and the calls we get here, sometimes you might not get certain calls for a while. And you think, okay, what are the steps? What do I need to do with this? And they can ask it and it'll explain it to them step by step of everything you do. Say it's sexual assault, you have to work sexual assault a while. It'll give you step by step what you need to do. They call it like having a sergeant in your back pocket. It's a phenomenal tool. Kirk, he was sitting on it, and this is a great tool for the officer to use.
Is this a standalone device or is it an app
It's
on
on
your
your
phone?
phone.
Okay, all right.
It's on your phone, and it's CJIS compliant, so whatever goes on there, it's not subject to anybody having access to it or anything, and it won't.
It's got a firewall.
It
Right?
does, just like our computer system with the criminal histories and stuff. So it's a great tool, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
The second one here is Flock Nova platform. It's integrated with the Flock cameras. And what that is, it's an investigative tool that integrates existing license plate cameras with dispatch and public records. When we work a investigation now, we have to rely on Denton County to help us on certain things, because we don't have the equipment. We're on the back burner when it comes to that. If they're busy, our investigations could lack. And in crimes, like Kurt knows, you want to solve that crime as soon as you can. So it's very important. We can put a name in this system and it'll give us everything about this individual. It'll give you locations, it'll give you email addresses, it'll give you all that. It's like a system that's called Accurate Now, but it's much cheaper. For this rate, for $2,000 a year, it's a steal for us. And it's a great tool, and we don't have to rely on any other department. You won't be their beck and call.
Does that give you access to any and all names of all citizens?
If it's a criminal that
Okay, so it has to be the database.
oh yeah, and yeah, if it's a criminal, yeah. But actually, it'll give me anything. But we won't look it up unless it's a criminal offense. We would never just put a citizen's name in there
That's what I'm
and
saying.
just say, hey, what's he have? That we would not
So
do
it
that.
does give you access to the entire population.
Absolutely,
Interesting.
absolutely.
Yeah, you're in there, Clay.
Absolutely, yes.
Do we need to check you?
Yeah, I know that.
It's a great tool as well, and like I said, it's for the cost, we're just adding it to the 50,000 that's already in lock cameras. So it's great. The third item I have on my list here, we have one less lethal beanbag gun. And it's outdated, that they're shotgun what they are, 12-gauge shotguns. If we're in a situation where an officer's out there and he needs a less lethal weapon instead of using deadly force, there's no way he can say time out, come and get one, or have someone bring them one. So what I propose to them is we're going to purchase 3 40mm impact launchers. And it's an upfront cost of $4,404. And I put a 320 biannually, that's for training rounds, but it's very possible that we won't even need that. But I just put that in there in case we do. They're not cheap.
So each unit would have its own.
Each unit would have its
It'd be
own.
Right there next to the shotgun.
It'll be in their vault, and it'll be, each unit have their own,
Okay.
and they don't have to, worry about. Having to take someone's life and then use an end that they sleep. Like I say, it's dedicated less lethal launchers for every patrol car, replacing aging shotgun system. That's
So
what.
instead of a shotgun, you're gonna be having them.
Yeah, we'll decommission that shotgun and we'll sell it to another department or something.
How does the propellant? What is the propellant?
Sponge. These are sponge. Oh, it's not your normal sponge. It'll knock you down. You'll know you've been hit. Yeah, but it's a sponge round.
So it
And
uses,
it's much more accurate and further distance. You can hit a lot further distance
Is
as
it the
well.
size of a shotgun shell?
I was about that big around.
Mhm.
so does it use,
It's a launcher. It's a,
does it use gunpowder to launch it, or is it CO2 system, or
no, it's gunpowder.
gunpowder? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Is that something that's pretty widely used in the Metroplex right now?
Oh, it's starting to be, yes. Yeah, the less vehicles that are outdated and they're not near as accurate. These are much more accurate and much further distance. So, if you have someone here against that wall with a knife, he could be at you in no time. So instead of having to kill him, you can put him down with less lethal. And as far as, liability and everything, it's much safer for the city as well. We don't wanna have to take human life, we don't have to. Next item will be the Motorola APX N70 radios. It's at a cost of $13,265 for a 5-year lease. Once the lease is done, we own those radios. Those radios should last us hopefully 12 or so or more years, if not more. They're starting to slowly phase out the radio we have now. And I have 2 good ones now, and the other one was needing a lot of repair. This is definitely a need. They're touchscreen, they're Wi-Fi. If you go into a building where you lose contact with dispatch, it can connect to Wi-Fi. I mean, it's a great radio, and they have 5-year warranty. We can drop it, bust it, don't replace it. It's great radios.
So is Wi-Fi connectivity to being law enforcement, if you can.
We can, yes, we can get access.
Access to
them. The last one I had on my list was the RTS tactical shields, it's at a cost of $3,240. That's a one-time cost to that. And that'll put a shield in all 3 of the marked units out there. Again, just like the less lethal, one shield's not gonna do you any good, it's not your head. And by law, we have to have a shield, we'll have to have a breaching tool. These are really nice shields, they're lightweight, but they're level 3 rifle rated. And come in a backpack, which you can carry and throw on your back, if you go into a building or anything like that, you can have it. And you don't have to be trying to lug it around and carry it. We have to have these shields, they say you have to have at least one. One's not gonna do you any good, you're going to have one of each unit. It just won't.
What are the dimensions?
It's a medium size, if I remember right. I'll give you a size, I can't, but it's about that tall. About that wide, that up top it has cutouts where you can hold it up and shoot around.
And you carry that on your back?
You can carry it on your back, or you can actually carry it on the front, yeah, too. Comes in that carrying pack,
And the 3240 is for 3 of them?
that's for 3 of them. I'm also working a deal with them possibly to be able to get a 4th one, it's a really, really nice shield. It's a $5,000 shield, I might have a charity that will purchase that as well. And we'll put that in another vehicle, and it has a window in it, it's very lightweight material. Big tactical situation could really come in.
Well, they have Kevlar or.
That's some type of Kevlar, the metal ones, they're out of metal, they're coated, but it's rifle rated.
Okay.
And that that's all I put in for, I didn't add anything else, like I told the, CCPD. That I will never come for a want. It'll be a need if I come for it, I just not believe in frivolous spending just because it's a toy. This is equipment that we really need and utilize. The vehicle will be a great tool with us.
I mean, all those together is about 30 grand anyway, so.
Yeah. The only really revolving one would be the Blue Voice lock.
Yeah.
And Motorola. Like I say, we can cover that, as he already said with 287 G.
Any other questions? Even on GCPD budget?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I need to open the public hearing. It's time being 8:03, open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak in favor? Anyone wish to speak in opposition? Time being 8:03 and 10 seconds, I close the public hearing. Council take action on proposed CCPD budget in August 18th, 2020. Number 2, discuss and consider scheduling September 1, 2026 for public hearing on proposed fiscal year 2026-2027 budget and scheduling September 15, 2026 for the adoption of said budget. Staff presentation, Shannon.
Thank you, Mayor. Town council is required to set the date, time, and location for a public hearing on a proposed annual budget, so that staff can publish the notice of the hearings in the town official newspaper and the website in accordance with state law. The budget public hearing must be held prior to the adoption of the property tax rate. Since the tax rate is scheduled for adoption on September 15th, staff recommends scheduling a special meeting on September 1 to conduct the required public hearing and receive public input on the proposed budget.
And that's the day after Labor Day, September 1, so
Let's say it is.
is everybody gonna?
It's not the day after.
If that's right, Labor Day's the next weekend.
Yes.
Good, this is the first time it's been before.
Yes,
Just
exactly. Right.
everybody, is everybody gonna?
So it is,
September 1,
it's the weekend. Before.
Labor Day.
Yeah,
Yes, 2 weeks before our regular meeting.
I'll be here.
Okay,
I'll be here for both meetings.
and regular meeting,
Yesterday.
September 1.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, thank you. Need a motion?
Oh, I do.
Approve and schedule this September 1, 2026 public hearing on proposed fiscal 26-27 budget. The schedule 15 September 2026 to the adoption of said budget.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, council. Number 3, discussing consider scheduling September 15, 2026 for a public hearing to consider the proposed tax rate, staff presentation, Shannon.
Thank you, Mayor. In accordance with chapter 26 of the Texas Property Tax Code, the town is required to publish the applicable tax rate notices, and if the proposed tax rate exceeds the no new revenue tax rate, conduct a public hearing prior to adopting the tax rate. Should a public hearing be required, staff recommends scheduling the tax rate public hearing for September 15, 2026.
So that's our regular meeting, our regular meeting in September.
Yeah.
Motion,
I'll have a motion to schedule September 15th, 2026 for the public hearing to consider the proposed tax rate.
Second.
all those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, council. Future agenda items, are there any items council would like to request for upcoming agenda? None. 8:06, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Chief.